Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Friday. TGIF. We've made it through kind of a almost full week of August. The first one. Yeah, I know August 1st was on Monday. However, we almost had a full week of August. I hope that you had a lot of fun. I hope that this week was very, filling and wonderful for you. Today, what I want to do is look at the next week, which is August 7th through the 13th. It's crazy for me to think that we're almost to the middle of August. It's so crazy and overwhelming to think that we're almost through August. Time seems to go quicker and quicker. By the time this reading is done and we're on to the next week, we're surpassing the middle of the week. So I have chosen to use my favorite combination, the Everyday Oracle with the Everyday Tarot. I love this combination. I wish more card creators would do this because they work so well. They just speak and connect in. I love shifting between Oracle and Tarot, and these two speak so well together. All right, let's get into this. What can my friends expect from the beginning of, August 7th through the 13th? I was going to say the beginning of August. I know that it feels like we really are in the first week of August, but yeah, feels like we just kind of started 2022, yet at the same time, it doesn't. Love it. This is the Page of Cups. I so wish that they put a fish in that cup. The original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, that's the card with the fish, right? You have this man with this floral tunic. He's got a cup, this really kind of fishy hat. He's holding a cup with a fish. And he's like, "It's my fish." This card talks about that flexibility. We need that flexibility. If we are too rigid with self, with our experience, with what we expect, our demands, we are going to find that it's a really tough week. If we are more flexible and more creative with our expectations and our demands, you're going to find that this week flows a lot better for you. People are getting tired. Many of us are under heat waves. We're hot. We're cranky. So people start to poke. It ends poorly. So having that flexibility and that understanding will go a long way. Not to mention that compassion, guys. We know that there's a lot going on, and the added heat that we're feeling globally isn't helping. So have that understanding, that compassion, especially for self. We have a tendency to have more compassion and understanding for the general public or the people on the outside, but inside, we are harsh and cruel. So please remember to treat self a little bit better this week. Yep. Because it's not going to end well. The Nine of Swords. This is the anxiety and the depression card. Really screams to that need for flexibility, for compassion, and for creativity. What we're currently doing may not be working entirely well. Some aspects may be doing really well, while others are kind of crashing and burning. They're only aggravating that depression, that anxiety. So we need to think outside the box, allowing that inner child out to ask questions, to look at the situation, and really ask those hard questions. Some of us may also need to looking outside our norm, our box, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're just not seeing it. We're so focused in on the here and now that we're missing out on supports. So And I should mention birds. Anytime when you see birds or like butterflies, that type of thing, those are a connection or a symbol of the high vibration. So we have support from the spiritual and physical. She's got a little kitty beside her. Now, I am being told, my camera's not working. There we go. There's the little kitty. I am being told that some of my friends may need to really expand on the supports, the physical supports that they're asking for, because this sadness, this fear is starting to really negatively impact us. Asking for help from professionals can be the easiest way, depending on your situation, to embrace that sun, because you get yourself outside. You're asking different questions in different ways, right? Having that flexibility and that compassion to ask for the help. My other friends, you may want to look at family. And if it's something that you're not too sure, talk to those individuals that are your supports and see what they think. Put it out there. This is what I'm struggling with. Sadness, fear. You don't have to get into it, but you can say, these are my struggles. What do you think? Getting other information, other supports, guidance can and only will help you. This week is going to be a challenge. However, that flexibility and that compassion, especially for self, will go a long way. That flexibility and that compassion can and will mean asking for the help you need from our physical and spiritual supports. So let's look at this week. What does the beginning of the week bring, my friends? Now, the beginning of the week, Tuesday, you guys will have a healing for your solar plexus. This past week, I published a Healing 101 for your solar plexus. So again, that solar plexus is that inner fire. And sometimes we need that determination, that willpower to have love for self. And it was interesting. Anytime I get ready for my readings, I always like to put crystals out and pretty things, right? Well, matcholite, that's what this is. It's a beautiful piece of matcholite, is connected into our heart center, our heart chakra. It helps with that healing. And then I have like tons of rose quartz. My camera does not want to work. There we go. Rose quartz. Again, that love, that self-love, that healing is going to be so important. One thing that keeps coming up into my head, because I do have so much rose quartz, which I usually don't. Well, I physically do, but I don't usually have it on the table, is Archangel Chamuel. He's connected into rose quartz. He's the archangel of self-love. And yes, it may be a little bit more than just self-love that you need. However, a little bit of compassion and a little bit of stability will go a long way in helping you. It's another tool. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I give you the guidance plus supports. I have 3 playlists of meditations. I've got a mindfulness playlist, and I have 3 healing playlists, plus an angel playlist. So there's lots and lots of supports there for you. In my Archangel healing playlist, I do have 3 meditations with Archangel Chamuel. It's about that love and compassion. Again, other tools and supports to help you through that challenge. Sometimes we have to think outside the box. Yes, the Queen of Wands. We need that compassion. This really talks about that need for that inner fire, that willpower and determination, hence that healing that's coming in on Tuesday, that solar plexus zhuzh. On top of it, having that kind of ownership and connection in with self, fueling you to use your abilities, your skills, and your tools to your advantage. Last week, I did an angel reading, and we had the strength card come forward. And I talked a lot about how we do need to use our creative and our creative self to take aspects and pieces and really make something that's meaningful for us. This connects into that. We have the most sassiest queen on the deck. So in the original cards, Pamela Coleman Smith drew this beautiful queen. They're all beautiful. Sitting in her chair. And you got to remember, this was drawn probably late 1908s, 1909s. And this queen is sitting with her knees open. She's got a dress on. You can't see anything, but you can see that her knees are open. Her ankles are not crossed, which was the norm back in the day. She's owning herself, her sexuality, her sensuality. She is just on fire. We need that sass, especially to burn away some of that heartache and pain. Swords are a tricky suit because the swords talk about knowledge. There's no emotion to knowledge. It is. It's like you have a red Lego and a blue Lego. They click together. They may click together in different ways. However, that's what it is. There's no emotion to it. It's like click, knowledge, right? It's like drinking. It's knowledge. I know how to drink. There's no emotion to this. We're emotional beings, and we add in that emotion, which is fine. However, the Suit of Swords talks about that emotion that doesn't help us. So we've had situations and events in our past, as we always do, that evoke an emotion. Some are positive and they are joyous and happy and they fuel us. Others bring us to our knees. We can use the joy, high vibrational energy, and it, like I said, it fuels us forward. The low vibration, it sticks us in mud. So we need to start to release that emotion so that we are able to use the knowledge, because we need the knowledge. It's just the emotion that's causing us problems. Because that knowledge will help to fuel and get us to keep going. We need it. We need that understanding, that aha. Now, easy ways to let go of some of that emotion without having to bring it up and re-traumatize you. I have a number of healings that will help with that. And the one that keeps coming to mind is one I did with Archangel Metatron, or that's what we're doing. We're releasing the pain. We don't want to revisit it. We don't want to re-traumatize ourselves. We just want to let go of it. Also, there is a cord cutting meditation that I did with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. So if this emotion, these situations that keep coming up are really connected in with a person or a group of people or a situation, it's just one, you may want to try that cord cutting meditation with them. So you can make that choice that's for you. Now, I should mention all my meditations, they're guided and they're free. There's no surprise costs or anything like that. I'm not a monetized channel. This is just supports for you. All right, let's go on to the middle of the week. Now, I should say, in the middle of the week, we're going to be able to welcome the full sturgeon moon. I will be back live on Wednesday to explore the full moon with you. The full moon comes in on the Friday, but you can start to really intentionally work with those energies as of the middle of the week. And it's going to help. That energy, those intentions, this feeling of frustration, of bleh, it's getting overwhelming. We're missing that point, that zhuzh that really helps us to connect into that passion, to that creativity. Now, no one's going to be able to do this for you. You're going to have to do some of this work. That's why I have the meditations. That's why I have lots of supports and tools to help you with you doing some of this work. If other people try and do it for you, it's going to feel not right. It's not going to work as well because it takes that cookie cutter situation that I talked about in the angel reading that I did last week, where it doesn't quite fit entirely. We are unique beings with unique situations. We need to create that solution, that conclusion that is most suitable for us, that works for us, for our greater good. The full moon is going to help us connect into that holy grail, that aspect or pieces that we're missing. Oh yeah. The Three of Cups. We do not need to do this alone. I did just say that we have to be the ones who do the work. However, we don't have to do it in an isolated fashion. Asking for that help. Like I said, the physical and spiritual supports are going to be imperative this week. Well, the middle of the week, we need to connect in with that group of people that are supportive and meaningful for us. It does not matter who they are, as long as they are supportive, they're loving and nurturing. They want the best for you. We all have family and friends who are not always working from a point of our best interest. They always have something underlying, strings attached. Those aren't the people we want to connect in with. We want to connect in with those individuals who are, they've got our backs. They support us. They build us up. If you're really struggling to find someone in your everyday that is like that, it's when you need to reach out and think outside the box and try and bring in some supports that are going to help you out of the situation rather than digging the hole deeper. So the middle of the week, we're really going to need that support of that family, that friend, that professional that's going to help build us up so that we're able to take that next step out of that gunkiness, out of that stuckness. Embracing those aspects that bring us joy and happiness. We want to build and see those aspects flourish rather than fueling those sads and those fears. Okay, let's go on to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Of course, the full moon will be in full swing. And depending, I don't know how many times I've said, oh, there's a full moon. And then I go outside and it's overcast and I can't see the moon. I'm like, it really is there. Just don't know where it is. Oh, caught it. And even if you can't see the moon, know that you can intentionally bring that energy down to you. The Fool, the 0 card in the major arcana. It's the one that jumped out and it really wanted to be seen and heard. We have that new beginning. The full sturgeon moon is going to support us with that new beginning. That holy grail, that shift out, that embracement of. Embracing that self, that inner fire. It's going to fuel and ignite that journey forward. Oh, I love it. Second major arcana, the Empress. You can see the fertility because it's maybe hard to see here, but she's pregnant. And most cards, Empress is not pregnant. It just talks about the fertility. And you can see the abundance with the apple trees. Yeah. The more we're embracing the Fool, the 3 of Cups, we see that joy, that happiness. Well, we're radiating energy, positive energy, rather than low vibrational energy. What energy we reflect out is what we're going to get back in. The end of the week, we're seeing that shift come into fruition. We're starting to see us being able to make some choices that are going to be impactful for us on the grander scale, getting us out of that stuck and into that growth. That fertility does not always mean baby making, guys. It means production of. We add in that flare of creativity, and you're going to see what it is you want to come to fruition or come to reality start to take form. Know, though, that the Fool looks like they're about to jump off and take a leap of faith. That's not the case, guys. This is slow and steady. She be a witch. She's Harry Potter. She's on her broom. She's going to take that next step, and it's going to be a gentle glide, not a leap of faith. Leaps of faith are unstable. They bring in more fear and pain, and we regress, which means we go backwards. We are more fearful, we're more sad, and we're digging ourselves into a deeper, deeper hole. So no, slow and steady is going to win the race, because you can create shifts that bring in change that you want. They are sustainable because you are stable. You feel strong and able to allow that to grow and flourish. The Seven of Wands. Really should have turned over the card. So sevens talk about that need for work, that need for not backing down. We need to make sure that we are, pushing ourselves forward, slow and steady. Because this sadness, our ego is not going to go, oh, well, I tried. No, your ego is going to go, okay, so that didn't work, so I'm going to blast you again. I'm going to keep blasting you until you go to your knees, because I don't want you to change. I don't want you to shift. However, with the full sturgeon moon coming in, we have that ability to embrace that shift and change, because the full moon energy does help us with that shifting. It helps us with that changing. Gives us a little bit of an extra boost in what we want to do. We need to use our solar plexus. So again, I go back to that need to ensure that we've got a strong solar plexus this week, to not back down, not let ourselves go because it's a little bit hard. Trusting in you, loving you, so that you can push you forward. Only you are the one who can do that. It's a lot of yous in the last sentence. It's important though. All right. What further support and guidance can I share with my friends so that they can move themselves forward, so that they can work with them? Affirmation for healing the heart. Know that this week, a good chunk of what we're doing is taking on that sad, some of those fears that have been holding us back. And anytime we get fearful or things really, you start to feel the Nine of Swords coming forward, and you start to feel that panic or that sad come on, my recommendation for you is to make sure you're grounding you and that you are breathing. Because when our ego starts to kick in, when we see that sad or that fear come forward, we start to almost pant or take those short, shallow breaths. It stops us from thinking. We go to our rudimentary brain and we miss out. So making sure that you take a minute. So if you feel that coming on, take a minute. I have a short and sweet meditative playlist. All the meditations are under 10 minutes. Quick little support. If you don't have 5 to 10 minutes, well, what you can do is go to a body of water or like some running water, like a sink, bathroom, kitchen. Run your hands under the running water and just let that energy go. You can visualize the gunk just coming off, taking deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And if you need to, count. You can start to count longer. So if you have to start at 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Make sure that your inhale and exhales are balanced and that you start to take deeper and cleaner breaths. This will help you stay up here, help you be able to make decisions, use our creativity, use our abilities to your advantage. Go with the flow. Yeah. Know that you need to work hard, sure, but check into what it is you need to do. Sometimes we think we need to swim upstream, when actually if we were to work with the energies rather than against them, we would get to where we want to go a little bit quicker with a lot less pain. We're not as exhausted. So that flexibility really screams true with the go with the flow card. If we can't work with the energies, we're going to burn out. We're going to feel that exhaustion. Just in case we hadn't figured that out, come on, camera. Transformation and change. Like I said, those butterflies, symbols of the high vibration. And yes, many of us are going to feel that sparkle, that glow as we're working with this shift. We're getting that gunk off. You can also, like I said, to go with the flow, not working as hard, like working harder than we need to. We just need to work smarter. When you're showering, because we do that usually almost every day, put some intention. Ask for the help, because again, we know we're not alone here. Ask the high vibrational support, your support team, the whichever high vibrational beings, for help while you shower to get rid of what you don't need and allow the water and the high vibrational energy to fuel you. Feel that gunk, that heaviness slip away as you're showering or bathing, whatever you do. That water, though, is going to help with that release, because releasing will help us to get rid of some of that heaviness and embrace that little bounce that we want, that shine. Because when we start to release what we're holding on to, that pain and sorrow, we're giving ourselves more space for the light, the joy, and the happiness that brings us that inner glow, that sparkle that we want. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that this gives you a fantastic overview of what you can expect for the week to come. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it helps me be found on the sea of YouTube. More importantly for you, if you did like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell. There is so much more healings, support, guidance, knowledge, education, you name it, coming forward. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of it is to subscribe and hit that little red bell. And if you want to help me out a little bit more, I do have a Patreon page where I add in even more supports. I put a link below, so why not go check it out? Again, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Until tomorrow, my friends.